expectations. We actually beat expectations on the key financial numbers. So the EBITDA line was $1.5 million better than expected. Just to pick out one particular point in that, the growth over the year was at the GTV line, which is our top line growth, was at 62%. We were finding our costs in the last quarter were only 16% up year on year. So you're seeing that scaling effect, exactly the thing you'd want to be seeing. The top line's growing a lot faster than the cost line is growing, and you'll see that running through the presentation as well. All the initiatives which are underway are all proceeding pretty well as expected, and we can go into some of that detail. I'll take it quickly. So just remind everybody, we're a marketplace. There's artists join, they add content. There's third-party fulfillers. When something's ordered, it's produced for those customers at the point of order. The critical distinction there is the difference between a marketplace and an e-tailer. As a model, this drives around. It has a high organic growth rates, which just come from the fact that more artists join, the more customers join, the more customers, the more artists. And that drives our economics in a fundamental sense. The fact that we have third-party fulfillment means we don't carry any inventory. In fact, we have a positive or negative, what's called negative working cash flow, but it's actually positive from my point of view. That's a mission, just some of the top line numbers. So you can see the strong growth in shop GTV. Importantly as well, repeat customers are coming back very strongly at higher than the top line growth. Visits, which is the primary driver of visits. Customers are up, selling artists are up. All of the key metrics are up, which is exactly what you want to see from a healthy marketplace. I won't go through the P&L. We'll take that for questions, but you can look through that to get how that's also driving the economics. The one thing I will point out is that the margins have actually improved during the quarter. That's our GP margin there as well. So the business is growing strongly with strong margins. The one other point which people have raised is the question of customer acquisition costs, which often catches e-tailers out. Our customer acquisition costs remain about under a third of customers come through from paid sources. The rest are free sources. That remained true during the quarter. We're expecting that to continue going forward. So very low customer acquisition costs, and in fact we became even more profitable than our paid acquisition costs during the quarter. We were getting better at acquiring customers more cheaply rather than what happens with typical e-tailers. This is the model, and these are the initiatives. We, as a company, we're focused on driving an initiative which makes the organic marketplace go around faster. Where there's no M&A activity in this. There's nothing which is particularly surprising. All of the initiatives are designed to drive the organic growth model. This is an outline of those major initiatives. So the way in which we work is we have teams which are dedicated to those areas. The search and traffic, adding new products. So we added 6 new products during the quarter. We're on track to add over 20 this year, or this financial year. It'll be well over that. The shopping experience continuing to improve. You'll see some examples of that. The new geographies, the German site launched. The French site was ahead of time, and the Spanish is now there as well, and that's starting to be crawled by Google ready for the Christmas period. The engagement and retention, a lot of work, as I said, on repeat customers. And finally, the platform and native mobile. Over 50% of all traffic comes from mobile, so our main mobile strategy is actually to have an incredibly strong, responsive website that's working. There's an app being developed for some specific uses as well. These are just some examples of new products. So we said we'd focus on fashion products. There's more of that stuff happening. Some examples of the new shopping chart. That's a focus on the mobile experience. That's the French and German sites. So just finally to sum up, we're operating. There's actually somebody who did this a lot better than me. They had the 9 reasons why you should invest in Redbubble, and I've also done a lot better than I have as well. But let me do it from my point of view. A huge global market, so long-term sustainable growth. There's no ceiling There's no ceiling here. We're not going to hit. There's not going to suddenly be a lack of millennial customers or something like that. The network effects, which we've been talking about, and the vast content library, 10.4 million images. Most sales are going to come from artists who already exist on Redbubble and for content that already exists on Redbubble. So that creates a barrier to entry, gives the low customer acquisition costs from that network effect, and also gives us a great deal of visibility into forward revenue. Finally, the outsourced print on demand means positive cash flow cycle and the scalability and the strong margins.